Now, one of your books that talks about this was written in 2009, which is 400 years ago in the age of the internet.
Right.
So I talked to you about that before, and you said it is as relevant today as it was in 2009 because it's dealing with the fundamentals of what makes great websites work. So what are the fundamentals that is still relevant today from 2009?
Well, a lot of people in this digital space like to say, and try to make it scary, like SEO is the mystic black voodoo magic or something like that, and it's just too hard, Darren. You can't really figure this out for yourself, and that's why you need to pay us to do it for you. And the reality is that you can. In fact, Google doesn't change their algorithm every day, as people like to think. In fact, you can go to Google and Google algorithm changes, and it'll tell you when they changed it and why. And it happens to be 2 times a year, and it's been that way for the last decade. And the reason why they do it is in order to either patch holes or somebody's abusing the system. It's not to beat up people like you and me and the people who are watching this video. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner today, focus on your human visitors and creating great content and experiences for them online. And the reality is Google will reward you for it. So the reason why the process still works, and here's a little bit of a buzzkill, I wrote the book in 2009, I came up with the process 5 years before that. And it still works today just as well as it did before. 3 weeks ago, we created or scored 18 #1 rankings in Google for top performing keywords for a client. It still works today because it's about best practices and creating a great user experience.
And isn't the bottom line is you just create really great content that is relevant to what somebody's looking for? And essentially that's what Google wants to index. Is
exactly.
Great value.
Right.
So bottom line is you can skip all the voodoo and all the reading the tea leaves,
right,
and just create really great content that somebody gives a crap about, enough people give a crap about, and you'll rank high in the Google results.
It's pretty
is that
simple.
pretty much it?
It is
yeah,
it.
Exactly.
It is it.
All right. So that's the short summary of your book, by the way. All right, so before we leave the potential mistakes that people are making, because I'm really enjoying this, because I think a lot of people are going, oh my goodness, right? Is there another you got up your sleeve before we go into the money-making opportunities?
And it's actually money drainer #1. So I may sound like a broken record, but again, I lifted this from you. It wasn't an HPF, but actually from your book, Living Your Best Year Ever. And that's where you talk about SMART goals. So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time sensitive. Awesome stuff. I put that at the front end of our process because it's been my experience for the last 20 plus years that when you go and ask a business owner, what are you doing online? Essentially to form a baseline, don't know. They don't know what the traffic is. They don't know how many leads they got. They don't know what the missed opportunity is or what they should be getting for sales. And it's because there is not any sort of SMART framework in place. So that's the first thing that we do, and that's what defines the future opportunity by putting it into this specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-sensitive construct. So the first one is always we're going to take the traffic, the unique visitors, and we're going to increase that by 100% or more. And because that's the linchpin that funnels down through everything else. So if we can increase traffic by 100% or more, then that leads to bounce rate, 30% or less. Then that leads to 100% more increase in leads. And then the same thing with revenue. So we can double revenue in 12 months or less just because we follow the SMART framework, knowing exactly what we're going to accomplish before we get started. And that's what makes us smart, because the reality is good isn't good enough anymore. Or I just want more is not a good answer. So that's why we put it into that construct.
Right. So instead of just wandering in the woods, you lay out the stepping stones in front of you, connect the dots, and funny how you end up where you want to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, great. So let's move towards the money-making opportunities. So I'm excited about this. People are ready, locked in. Okay, I've cleared up my mistakes. I've got plugs in the holes of all the leaky spots in my boat. Now I want to put a motor at the back of my boat and go fast. So. Okay. What's the biggest of all the money-making opportunities that you see? What's the biggest one? Start us out with the big one.
Okay, and it's actually a combo. It's like a 1-2 punch of Moneymaker 2 and 3. And so Moneymaker 2 is build the list, right? I mean, it is the most valuable asset in any business. It's not capital equipment, it's not inventory, it's not people, because all of that stuff could leave. Most of our, the entrepreneurs watching us today, they were a one-person operation at some point. If all the employees left, they could rebuild if they needed to. They don't want to, that would be a terrible scenario. But if all their customers left, that would be horrible. So the customer list is the most important thing. And so the very first thing that we put into place is a way to build that list, and so we create a value exchange, right? We put a value exchange in place where it's either a fantastic PDF, something that's screaming cool, using your language. So, again, another piece that I've adopted, something that's screaming cool, whether a video series, something really exclusive and awesome. And we put that into place, and it becomes a free download. We ask for 3 things: first name, last name, email. On that window that comes up, it's not an annoying pop-up, it's a very elegant looking pop-over that presents that value exchange in a really great way. And here's the reality. When you put a screaming cool offer in front of targeted traffic and you only ask for first name, last name, email, and you say things like your email address will never be shared or sold, and this window will only be displayed once, between 6 and 13% of all visitors will opt in for that. So you think about it, I mean, if you're getting 1,000 unique visitors a month, and many people watching this are getting much more than that, maybe it's 10,000, 13% of 10,000 is a lot, and that list starts to accelerate. So that's the very first piece. We need to get more prospects or suspects into the funnel, and that's the way to do it.
So I'm sitting here thinking of my own websites going, dang, I got some work to do. So maybe as part of all this value exchange of giving you all these great ideas, you can go and you can fix all my stuff. How about that?
I was actually going to offer that too.
Great.
Yeah.
On camera. I got it. All right. That's great. Okay, so we've got 2 and 3. What's next after that? Let's help everybody watching make even more.
Okay, so once we get all those people, and I think John Jantz said it great in Duct Tape Marketing, which I just listened to actually off of your success summaries. It's fantastic. Anyway, the new funnel today, the sales funnel, John describes it as the know, like, and trust funnel. And then down at the bottom, once trust is created, then it's the try, buy, repeat, and then tell the world. All right, so once they've opted in, now they know us. So now it's our job to move them through to the bottom of that funnel so then they trust us and buy. So the best way to do that, in my opinion, is create well-prepared prospects, like Dan Kennedy likes to say. And so then we set up a series of email sequences, that once they opt in for that, then we give some more of stuff that's related to that original value exchange. And then at the end, we offer them an exclusive 60-minute webinar. Then we deliver 60 minutes of awesomeness during the webinar that's related to that entire exchange. And then at the end of the webinar, there's a conversion opportunity. You can buy this or register for that or whatever. One of our clients did that in 5 weeks. She generated $110,000 in incremental revenue by just doing that plan. It's awesome.
So I'm thinking about my own scenarios and problems, and I'm thinking people who are watching might be thinking of their own as well. Just if you wouldn't mind, what does your organization do? Like if somebody's going, okay, I got these problems and I have these opportunities, but I don't necessarily know that I've got the time, energy, space, or staff to execute on them. How does your company work with entrepreneurs?
So if a company is between $1 million to $30 million a year, I mean, that's really our sweet spot. We have absolutely no interest in working with Fortune 500 companies. We're really looking to, where we really connect well is, the high performing, the CEO, the entrepreneur who really wants fast results, that's running a company in that size. And so then typically we will sit down and develop those smart predictives, understand what the baseline is, what the opportunity is, how that connects in with the overall business. And typically we'll take a company that might be $2 million a year and we'll take them to $4 million a year, and then we guarantee that. So we predict what the outcome is going to be in the form of revenue, and then we guarantee that performance. And if we don't deliver that return on investment, which is typically 200% or more, sometimes it's been as high as 1,300%. If we don't deliver that, I will sit down across the table from Darren after the end of the 12 months, and I'll write Darren Hardy a check for the entire fee, so it's 100% free.
So before you even take $1, you guarantee the result. They become satisfied that that's the result they are after. It'd be worth more than that, and then they engage you. And if you don't hit on that, you give them the entire feedback. Great.
Exactly.
Good. Well played, sir. Because it's one of the things that we talked about at the High Performance Forum is an audacious, bold guarantee. Put your money where your mouth is, right? If you know you're so awesome, but I have to sort of trust you and give you money and hope that it works out. Take that risk off the table. Make a bold guarantee. Deliver results as you know you would. Everybody's happy, rides off into the sunset. Fantastic. Okay, hey, thank you very much for imparting your great wisdom, giving it away so that everybody else could enjoy this. And For those that are watching, I hope that one day you get a chance to sit in one of these chairs, go through one of our high performance summits, which is a full day event, or as Stephen and so many other high performing CEOs have done, go through one of our high performance forums, which is 3 days, also here in the beautiful La Jolla, California. So with that, once again, I'm Darren Hardy, publisher of Success Magazine, and we'll be talking to you in some other platform, for some other reason, for some other way that we're trying to help you grow and empower your future. So bye-bye for now.